裏切り者 or 裏切り。
奴らを一瞬で皆殺しにする。飛行艇を確保するにはそ
Isn't
れしか
that quite risky? Like the smoke, or does it dissipate really quickly?
で皆殺しにする。飛行艇を確保するにはそれしかない。そのために巨人の力もあんたたちの武器も全て使う。
出したくねえよ。訓練兵からの同期もいるんだぞ。
じゃあどうするの？教えてくれる？どうやって襲いかかる敵から死者を出さずに飛行艇とアズマビトを無傷で守りつつ整備にかかる時間を稼ぐのか教えてよ、アルミン。私を追い詰めた時みたいに作戦を教えて。
そんな作戦はない。一瞬で肩がつくか、しくじって飛行艇を失うか。
ガビとファルコと一緒に安全なところで見ていてくれ。イエーガー派に見つかればイヤガー王でも選択を迫られるだろう。ただし何も手出しするな。
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if that's all that different. Like letting them go to do what they don't want to do. I don't think they're the kind of people that will be happy with that and will feel like, oh, well, I don't have anything to do with this. I don't know what I want to do, so I'll just sit on the sidelines. I don't think they'll be happy with that either. But how much time they have to decide right now, there's not much time.
沖で大量の蒸気を上げながら進む巨人が見えた。その速度から推測するに、すでにマーレ大陸には上陸している。ここから近いマーレ北東の都市は壊滅しているだろう。こんなに早く海を渡れるとは思わなかった。すでにどれだけの人々が殺されたことか。
イエガーの行き先を言え。言うまで腕の関節を増やし続ける。
マガト！
怖がらなくていい。殺しはしない。コニー、アルミ、ミカサ、ジャン。昨夜の私の態度を詫びたい。我々は間違っていた。軽々しくも正義を語ったことだ。この後に及んでまだ自らを正当化しようと醜くもあがいた。卑劣なマーレそのものである自分自身を直視することを恐れたからだ。君たちに責任はない。同じ民族という理由で過去の罪を着せられることは間違っている。ピーク、アニ、ライナー、お前たちも世界の憎しみを一身に背負ういわれはない。だがこの血に濡れた愚かな歴史を忘れることなく後世に伝える責任はある。エレン・イェーガーは全てを消し去るつもりだ。それは許せない。
Oh, that's an interesting take. We do have the responsibility to remember this foolish bloodstained history. That's really important. The erasure of history. That's a very prominent theme in listen to me, a prominent theme. But like in books like do I have my other book here? I always have like a bunch of books around me that I'm trying to read or making plans to read. I'm still only like 2 parts into. There's 1 part left. 1984, which also has a theme of like erasing history. And what's very interesting is that the you could probably call it the government in this book does it like in real time. Like there's a ministry of truth that once, like let's say a politician or someone in a leader said something that was later proven to be wrong, there's this, I think the Ministry of Truth, the job of the main character is to like rewrite history, and then everything that proved that that character was wrong will be erased and replaced with like something different. So just I can't delve into the whole theme right now, but Aaron doesn't want to replace it with anything. He just wants to erase, right? But that is, I think, with many of the themes that Attack on Titan addresses, one of this is important not only in Attack on Titan but in our world, where even certain countries, and I don't want to misspeak, but I'm pretty sure there's like, I don't want to misspeak, so I'm not going to say, but there's a country that I know about that like erased all their like all the history and replaced it with new stuff based only on the current leading parties, what they want their people to know. And some of the stuff that they destroyed was, or some of it they couldn't destroy because it was taken to another country, and now like they want that stuff, and that's causing friction. Wow. But yeah, that's very important. The responsibility to remember this foolish bloodstained history. We have to remember history accurately, as accurately as possible, so that we are not doomed to repeat it, right? I've said that before because it's a theme that is recurring a lot. Here,
エレン・イェーガーは全てを消し去るつもりだ。
never thought about it that
そ
way.
れは許せない。愚かな行いから目をそらし続ける限り、地獄は終わらない。だから頼む。我々の愚かな行いに今だけ目をつぶってくれ。
断ります。手も汚さず正しくあろうとするなんて。
And that, he said, I refuse to stand by, to be a bystander, right? And that's really important, because if you just stand by, like, I'm not saying you're as bad as the people doing bad things in the world, but if someone is, like, if something's happening right here and you don't at least try to like, I'm not saying, oh, there's a gunfight in front of you, jump in the middle of it, but you know, like, if there's bad things happening in the world and there's thousands just idly standing by, not speaking up, not trying to help, I'm not saying you're as bad as the people doing the bad things, but you're not that far behind, not as far behind as you'd like to be, let's put it that way. And I knew that they're not the kind of people that would just let Annie and them fight for them in a way, or without them, and just, I knew they wouldn't be the kind of people that would just stand by, which links to another thing that I've been thinking about. Maybe the reason, and I'm not sure here, maybe the reason Eren never told them anything was because he knew they wouldn't be on board with his plan, and that's why he confided in, you know, the one person he knew would be on board. Because all of what he's doing, he knew maybe from the start, this is not what Armin and Mikasa and Jean and Connie and Sasha and Hanj and everyone would have wanted. And that's why he never included them, possibly because he knew they would stop him.
ヒーズル国ももちろん例外じゃありません。文明の痕跡は跡形もなく消え去り、まっさらな土地に生まれ変わる。煩わしいことはもう何もありません。あなた方はただこの島に貢献してくれればいいのです。幸いにしてヒーズルの優秀な技術者がここにいるわけですしね。これ以上部下を減らしたくなかったらちゃんと言うことを聞かせてください。
大変ご機嫌のところ申し上げにくいのですが、一体何が変わったとお喜びなのでしょうか。これ
I I know I'm the kind of person that does this and you guys hate it, but this is such a good line. I hate to interrupt you when you're in such a good mood. We were talking about it yesterday while I was watching FMAB about like antagonist characters and villains and so. And my favorite kind of villains are villains, like, as you guys know, my scores for characters in Attack on Titan is always 9 or 10 because the characters are really well written. But my favorite kind of villains is like Dio from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, or is the kind of villains that they own their evil. They don't pretend like they're doing good, the righteousness and yada yada yada. To me, that's very annoying. And that's partly why this character annoys me so much. He's well written. I've never said otherwise, but he annoys me so much is because he relishes in this so much. This little piss baby that shit his pants before, rightfully so, because, you know, he was on a suicide mission, but he survived. Now suddenly he's acting all high and mighty because he has the backing of Eren, and he's relishing in this power given to him, and he's relishing in these horrible actions that he's doing. He doesn't even feel guilt. He really believes he's doing a good thing. And that annoys me. Like, it's well written, and I understand that there are really people like that in the world. But for me, I don't like those kinds of villains. I prefer the villains that own their evil. Like, they know they're bad and they're not pretending to do good things. And he is so, like, he loves it. He's having fun. He's not, there's no, I'm trying to think of a villain that, I mean, even Reiner as an antagonist, I was never on board with his actions, but I like his character in the show more because he acknowledges, even back then, even in season 2, looking back, I know that he freaking developed a split personality because of the amount of the guilt that he felt. Like, to me, I like characters like that in the show more than, you know, someone that relishes in shooting people and flaunting around their, I'm stronger than you, I have your life in my hands. Oh, this is all for the greater good. Okay, but anyway, I'm sure you guys are gonna flood the comments again. All hail Flock!
一体何が変わったとお喜びなのでしょうか。これでパラディ島は安泰だとお考えのようでしたらお気の毒に。ただ世間が狭くなるだけのことです。何も変わらず同様の殺し合いを繰り返すことでしょう。
ご忠告痛み入ります。確かにそのような気がしてきました。大事なのは身の程をわきまえることでしょう。ヒーズルの技術など必要ない。飛行艇も航海術も我々の身の丈には合わない代物だと欲を立てば不安の種は詰める。いいですか？大事なのは身の程をわきまえる。
Yeah, what about you know your place?
わかりましたか？アルミ！フロック！今までどこにいた？何を騒いでいる？
I really want someone to punch him in the face. I hate people like that. He's so up on his high horse, and the worst part is like he's only there because of Eren. You know, he's not the kind of person like, he couldn't get himself there. Like, your power was given to you. It wasn't earned, in my opinion.
車力の巨人を追ってたんだよ。奴ら鎧と一緒だ。海を泳いで逃げた。早くしないと逃げられる。今すぐ飛行艇が必要だ。急いでアズマビトに止めるようにさせろ。
実はお前たちがマーレとグルになってこの飛行艇を使って地ならしを止めようとしてるんじゃないかって疑いが。
そんなことやるわけねえだろ。
そうだよ。
エレンを止めたらこの島はどうなるんだよ。
だよな。俺たちせっかく助かるのに、お前らが
Are
こ
you
の
though?
島をまた危険にするわけないよな。
当たり前だろ。
よかった。お前らが裏切ってたらどうしていいかわかんねえし。
いいから早く爆弾を取ってくれよ。
完成した飛行艇にどうにかしてみんなを乗せてここを去る。全て成功すれば無用な血は流れない。流れない。
There won't need to be any pointless bloodshed. You know, these other ones are complaining that, oh, we were worried you might try to stop everyone, even if they're enemies. Oh, how dare you feel pity for people? How dare you try to do things without bloodshed? But in actual fact, the kind of people that they are, the kind of people that is trying to resolve things with as little bloodshed as possible, works out in their favor. You might be, how do you say? You might be saved because of them. Like, the world might be saved because of people like this. If, I mean, look at the conversation that they were able to, that people like these, people like Armin and Connie were able to have with people like Annie and Magus, and how they made Magus feel, the change that they facilitated in him in such a short amount of time. And that was also showed with Sasha, and not just Sasha, but when Niccolo met all of them. Like, people were changed. And that way, the endless fighting might not have to be perpetuated and perpetuated and perpetuated. Because, as Hizuru said, and I said that, remember back in the episode where the rumbling began? They were already fighting amongst themselves. They're not saving the world. They're not safe now. They're just making the world smaller. It will all repeat again, because the actions that they're taking will turn people, even within their own people, people will be turned against them. There will always be the next rebels. And it will happen so much quicker and so much worse when you act so brazenly, when you act so violently, because people are more desperate then to get you out of power, because Flock is just killing anyone who disagrees with him. Soon, yes, he will make a bunch of enemies that will group up against him, and they will have to do it quickly, because his actions are just like there's no gray area. He's like, you're either with me or against me. Okay, you're against me, ba ba ba. And then he shoots you multiple times in your head. Of course you're gonna make enemies that way. Of course it's gonna perpetuate this whole cycle, and it's just gonna get faster and faster if there are less people like Armin and more people like Flush. And the faster that cycle goes, the smaller the world gets, until humanity can literally extinguish itself that way. Extinct, like that is why, in my opinion, and I went into depth about this stuff in my notes. There's a real danger that humanity can extinct itself because of people like Flush. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think people like him are dangerous to society. And I don't mean society like a society, I mean like the world. About that, it's a longer conversation. But of course that's an idealist way of thinking. This, you know, there will be as little blood. Wait. He says, if everything works out, there won't need to be any pointless bloodshed. So yes, that is too idealistic. To think that it will all go perfectly and there won't need to be any pointless bloodshed is too much on the other side, too idealistic, right? But once again, I remain the point, if there's more people thinking idealistically, it's like that quote, even if you aim for the moon and miss, you will still land amongst the stars, right? So he's aiming for the moon right now. probably won't get there, but he will still land amongst the stars. Thanks to people like Armin. I'm not saying Armin is perfect, I'm just saying this kind of thinking. If there were more people like that, we would land amongst the stars more often. We will pull more this way. Whereas Flush just wants to drag everyone down to fucking hell. Like, it would be hell to live in with him as like a fucking prominent leader. And his way will just, in my opinion, cause the world to become smaller and smaller, and the violent rebellions to happen faster and faster, and then eventually there will probably not be any people left.
やっぱり不安の種は積んでおくべきか。
Yeah, and how do you do that? Killing people. That is like such a... the worst kind of dictators in the world. That is how they act. This is how they act. The worst kind. Hello? Oh, but he's a Titan. Oh my god, he shot him right in the face though. But the first thing I think is, he's a Titan, 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 he's a Titan. But shit, if he transforms, he could like really damage...
Samuel. サメル。
裏切ったんだろ、コニー。一緒に土地を増やして肉を食おうって言ったのによ。
このままでは袋のネズミです。時間をかけて殺されます。
これでいい。我々が安全なら奴らは存分に暴れることができる。光逃げたぞ。
Oh, they went to the basement so that they'd be safe because Armin is going to transform and fuck everything up.
Yeah. まさか。
Whoa. Okay, it doesn't have to be Armin, but...
やっぱりダメか。
Yeah, that was not fun to see back when it was the Scouts, and it's not fun to see when it's the Jaegerists. And I just can't think of, was it Onyankopon that just said, why does it always have to come to this? Why couldn't they just... Why couldn't... I mean, fucking... if Reiner and Annie can speak to Armin and Mikasa and John, why couldn't Flush just freaking... listen or talk or I don't know. But I guess, you know, with the way they're going about things, that's just not an option for them. And now it turns out like this. Oh yeah, I forgot that he doesn't have to transform to heal. Oh god, there it goes.
自分の手を血で染めないと。
I'm sure you guys are gonna flood the comments again. I'm sure you guys are gonna flood the comments again.